stage, you don't even have the power to go and ask the president why. When he was appointing me, I was appointed amongst several other party people who suffered the same way like me, but they didn't get the opportunity to serve in his government. So if he is taking me out of the government, I will not even want to go and ask why.
But what is your suspicion?
I cannot speculate because he has the power.
To one of our major stories this hour now, and 245 Ghanaian deportees from Kuwait will arrive in the country tomorrow, Saturday, May 23. Information Minister Kojo Pon-Krumah made the revelation at a special press briefing this morning. According to him, the deportees will be quarantined and managed by government until their status regarding COVID-19 has been ascertained. Here's more on what you need to know about the deportees.
The government of Kuwait has informed the government of Ghana of an intention to deport some 245 Ghanaians who are currently in Kuwait illegally. The government of Kuwait has further requested permission from the government of Ghana to bring these persons into the Ghanaian jurisdiction on Saturday, the 30th of May, 2020. The government of Ghana has subsequently granted a special permit for the admission of the said deportees to Ghana. This deportation is to be executed via a special charter flight arrangement at the cost of the Kuwaiti government. Now, this deportation comes at a time when Ghana's borders remain closed to human travel as part of the international travel restrictions under Ghana's COVID-19 response program. As you would recall, the restrictions are to limit the importation of cases into Ghana. However, even after these restrictions were imposed, we have granted special exemptions for some countries to evacuate their citizens from our jurisdiction. The government of Ghana, in line with some of the exemptions granted earlier, hereby announces the following measures to safely admit the 245 deportees from Kuwait into Ghana while ensuring that the risk to the COVID-19 response program is mitigated. Number one, the deportees will be mandatorily quarantined and tested for COVID-19 immediately upon arrival into Ghana. Number two, deportees who test positive will be given the necessary supportive treatment. Deportees who test negative will remain in quarantine for a second test at the end of a 14-day quarantine period. The cost of quarantine and treatment is to be borne by the government of Ghana. The National Security Secretariat has been instructed to work in collaboration with the military, the immigration, and the police to take responsibility for ensuring that the mandatory quarantine is adequately enforced. The Ghana Health Service has been asked to take responsibility for the testing and, if need be, treatment of these deportees. The general public is hereby assured that all measures to ensure the health of the general population and to ensure that the gains of the COVID-19 response program are upheld are being undertaken, even at this time, by the government of Ghana. The potential deportees from Kuwait, these are persons who were found to be staying illegally in Kuwait. The Kuwaiti government has gone through their processes and has satisfied the government of Ghana that these are Ghanaian citizens who are illegally staying in Kuwait, and the government of Ghana has given that permission, that special permit that aircraft containing them can land. I'm trying to confirm the date. It is actually tomorrow. It is tomorrow, not the 30th. It is tomorrow. It is tomorrow that they will be getting to Ghana. So they will be leaving Kuwait tonight, and then they will be getting to Ghana tomorrow. And we have triggered the process to ensure that we can receive them, we can mandatorily quarantine and test and ensure that they don't become a threat to the Ghanaian population, if indeed we have some cases in there.
He also stated sanctions must apply to Ghanaians who are aiding people to get into the country illegally.
The reason for which on a daily basis we hear 40 people arrested here, 60 people arrested here, 80 people arrested here, the reason for which you hear that is because the Ghana Immigration Service and the Ghana Armed Forces have significantly stepped up the fortification of our borders, both on the legal entry points and what is known to be some of the illegal crossing points. The Ghana Immigration Service has on its own put up about 700 men and women to augment their already existing numbers. The Ghana Armed Forces, through Operation Conquered Fist, is supporting that exercise. That is why they are able to get the intelligence, make these arrests on a regular basis, which you, our colleagues, are doing very well by reporting, and then we get the sense, particularly of some of our own citizens who aid and abet these persons who want to come into the jurisdiction illegally. That's the first one. The second one is that, yes, there ought to be some sanctions, and indeed instructions have been given that sanctions must apply particularly to Ghanaians who are in the business of aiding and abetting people without authority to cross now that our borders are closed.
Let's now take you to Parliament House, where the NDC MP for North Tongue, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, is questioning why President Akufo-Addo left out the names of 5 ministers of state in his latest report to Parliament on the list of presidential staffers.
Our nationals, before we say we are going to open the airports, what is happening now is an embarrassment. We should not have waited for the Kuwaiti government to say, hey, I've rounded up your guys. We've had enough. Other countries have come for their nationals. You are refusing to come for your nationals. As for us, we've rounded them up. We are bearing the cost. If you won't open your airports, it's up to you. So this should serve as a wake-up call, and let us reach out to Ghanaians in other countries. I hope that the collation of data that is going on, I saw the notices from our missions abroad, from New York, Washington, London, and other places, calling for people who are stranded to send in names. That was 2 weeks ago. Again, look at our level of response. So slow. It's as if we don't really want to help. And it's so inept. And you see, we are in a crisis. People are stranded. People are sleeping rough. The information minister himself confirms that they are aware that some Ghanaians are really, really in a difficult place. They are sleeping rough. They've run out of hotel bills. They've run out of upkeep money. And yet, we are here. Initially, we don't want to evacuate. Then we change our position later. Okay, embassies, collate. Let's see what the numbers are. And still no definite position. As we speak,
the government says they are discussing.
Government has still. How long is government going to discuss?
And that a firm decision will be taken subsequently. Isn't the fact that they're allowing the Kuwaitis in, for example, a good first step that at least the will to get it done is there, as far as you're concerned?
I disagree with your use of the expression allowing the Kuwaitis, as if our government had a choice. These are our own nationals, Ghanaians. The Kuwaiti government has decided to deport them. What choice does our government have? We have no choice. They are being deported. We have no choice. That's why I'm saying that we should not have waited for things to get to this point. We should be embarrassed about our lack of urgency, the total ineptitude that we have showed so far as our nationals stranded outside are concerned. Look, are we saying that we only Ghana, we are wiser than all the countries who are reaching out? And that is what government, why do we all pay taxes? So that in times like this, it could have happened to any of us. You could have gone out there to do business for a short course or to attend a conference, and you could have been stranded. Look, there is a group in Nigeria, miners. They just went to mine. Every 6 weeks, they go to Nigeria to mine 3 weeks. It's a 6 to 3 weeks, routine they follow. I've had cause to read that letter on Joy FM, where they indicate that they have money to charter a flight back home. They have money to pay for their quarantine when they arrive. They were denied. Our foreign ministry replied their letter that, no, we are not opening our airport. That is what we did to our own citizens. I don't want to believe that we love foreigners more than our own people, our own Ghanaians. And yet we keep opening our airports every now and then for other governments, other nationals to be evacuated out of our country.
For you, as soon as possible, all Ghanaians stranded out there, the program should be rolled out in order to get them back into the country.
Absolutely, absolutely. The government pussyfooting must stop. The slow pace, slow tortoise pace. Even a tortoise will have long arrived at its destination. This government pussyfooting must stop.
You also raised concerns about the list of presidential staffers and asking whether there is a reshuffle that Ghanaians are unaware about on the floor. What was the point you're seeking to make?
Yes, I was referring to the list of staffers at the presidency, which President Akufo-Addo has submitted to Parliament, albeit very late. Though the letter is dated 30th March. We received it only last week. We are in May. So the president is in breach of Section 11 of Act 463. There's no doubt about that the president is in breach. And we expect the president to abide by his oath of office. And the president should stop breaching the Presidential Office Act. But the content is worrying. Parliament is being told that there are only 5 ministers of state at the presidency. Only 5. Meanwhile, last year, we were told that there are 10. And conspicuously missing on the list, as I sought to draw the House's attention, is the senior minister. As I said, we are not aware that the senior minister has been taken out of government or has been reshuffled. Why is he not on the list? Why is the minister responsible for business development not on the list? The Honorable Ibrahim Mohammed Awal. The Minister for Monitoring and Evaluation, Dr. Anthony Akoto, said he doesn't feature on the list this year. He was on the list last year for the 2018 report. But the 2019 report, Dr. Akoto said is not there. So is Professor Jambafo, the Minister of State responsible for planning. He is not on the list. The Honorable Dan Kweku Boche, the Minister responsible for regional organization, is not on the list.
You think someone is hiding something?
The Minister responsible for special development initiatives, the Honorable Mavis Hawa Kumsin, is not on the list. What is going on? Why is Parliament being treated this way? And remember that this is a communication that comes from the President himself, under the President's signature. And yet, not less than 6 ministers are not on the list. Is it because political appointees are going up? And I have pointed out that, look, we need a cap on the Presidential Office Act. We must now place a ceiling so that this elephantine-sized government, this pension, to just keep increasing the numbers. If you look at the number of junior government officials at the presidency, for the 2018 report, there were 254. It has shot up now to 270. That is worrying.
In terms of the overall numbers, the indication is that it actually went down comparing 2018 and 2019.
What they did cleverly was to reduce some staff with the civil service, civil and public service. That's not our concern. As for civil servants, they will retire. You can always move them out. You can second them to other ministries. That's not the concern. The concern where you must focus attention is the political appointees, the list of political appointees, and that keeps going up. Look at all the categories. The presidential staffers, it was 27 in 2017. The 2018 report said it had gone up to 28. Now it's 36. Junior political officers, it's gone up from 254 to 270. So all the categories of political appointees keeps going up. And now what we are seeing is that ministers are not featuring in the report, as though somebody wants to massage the numbers and make it look as if, the numbers are going down. But I'm surprised that the majority leader received the report, and as he said, he has not averted his mind to it. I'll encourage him to read it, and he must read it. You are the majority leader and Minister for Parliamentary Affairs. It's untenable. I'm not impressed with the majority leader that such a major report. You know that I've been raising this matter on the floor consistently since the president breached when we went past March and he had not submitted this report. I hope that the majority leader will read it and will get back to the president and they will bring us a more accurate report, a report that is sacrosanct, that reflects the facts, the truth, the reality. That's all we want.
Now, over 12,000 residents in Nakpanduri and its environs in the northeast region lack access to quality healthcare and are currently being forced to rely on unskilled healthcare providers and self-medication. This is because the only facility in the community has been downgraded to Chips B compound with inadequate health staff to provide essential services. The facility, which was built in 1945 by the Church of Pentecost, has suffered deterioration due to sporadic violence in the area. Ilyasu Tanko has more.
Nakpanduri, an old town in the northeast region, was once a hotspot of violence. Now a peaceful and promising town, residents are still suffering the repercussions of disunity. Located about 22 kilometers west of the district capital, Bunkurugu, the Nakpanduri community is blessed with a lot of fauna and flora. However, years of continued tribal, land and chieftaincy hostilities have suppressed the progress of the area. Access to healthcare is one of the biggest challenges facing Nakpanduri and its people. With a population of almost 12,000, the town has only a private facility providing very limited services. Residents therefore have to travel to various locations within and outside the region to seek proper medical care. But with the roads and health centers in deplorable state, seeing a doctor when sick has always been an uphill task. The chief of the community, Naba David
any place
is worried.
Like a hospital to go. We go to Boku, Garu, or Nalergu, which are 18 miles above, 20 miles apart from here. And this COVID-19, we are praying hard. I've called the Muslim community to pray. I've called the Christians to pray. I've called the pastors to come pray. They have come here and they have prayed. And I have appeased all the gods of the land. Some with cattle, cows, fowls, and goats. But I think that more needs to be done. My fear is that if God forbid, if Corona-19 should land in the country, we are finished. Our health system cannot contain it at all.
Years ago, the town had a very vibrant health center, which was jointly run by government and the Pentecost Church. But insecurity has meant the facility was downgraded to a Chips Compound B. The deteriorating state of affairs of the facility compelled the Pentecost Church to commence an intensive expansion works in order to ensure provision of essential health services are restored. However, the expansion works, which started in 2017, was abandoned in 2011. Now, following the outbreak of the coronavirus disease, President Akufo-Addo announced plans to build more than 90 new hospitals to bridge the medical inequalities in the country. The chiefs and people of Nakpanduri are asking the president to take over the project from the Pentecost Church and put it into use. Here is the Nakpanduri chief again, leading the demand for the takeover.
It was built around 1948-1949, and it has since remained that way up to date. There's no improvement, even though they have built it up to hospital standard, but it hasn't been completed. There's no water system running in a place. We went on several occasions at the clinic so that the clinic can go forward. Nothing's happening. So we are calling the government to take over the hospital.
We don't have doctors. Our children are dying because of the hospital. We are suffering. We are begging the government to look at of these we women in Nankpanduri is to help us build the hospital for us. We are suffering. We are going to Garu, Nalergu with our children. No doctors in the hospital. Water, we don't have water in Nankpanduri too.
The healthcare here is bad. We don't have a resident doctor. A doctor who is residing in town. This facility is for Assemblies for God. And my appeal is if the church cannot manage the facility, cannot complete the project, they should better hand it over to the government. We are calling on the government to expedite action, and we are appealing to the government. If it is going to build 94 or 88 facility is talking about, it should try to come and support us complete this facility instead of building a new one.
From Nankpanduri, Ilyasu Tanko, Joy News.
As in now still to come, as the ban on social gatherings like funerals still remain in force, Joy News looks at the trend of funerals among the Ga people. Details after the break.
It was decided at the pre-burial meeting on 28 April to abide by the President's directive. We only allowed them to briefly extend their condolences to the family.
Is it the rumble in your tummy when you've had too much to eat? Or that headache you had from yesterday's party? Then, number 10 liver salt is for you. Number 10 gives you quick, effective relief from nausea, indigestion, heartburns, hangovers, and hyperacidity. And with different flavors of fruity sweetness, it's a pretty tasty way to end an uncomfortable situation. Number 10 liver salt from Ernest Chemists, because everyone needs a chemist.
Take a tour through Ghana's fastest growing online portal, www.adumonline.com, for local and international news, business, entertainment, politics, lifestyle, sports, and more. Watch the most intriguing YouTube videos on demand and live streaming of Adum TV, Ghana's #1 television station. Listen to live radio and podcast of all your favorite Adum FM programs, no matter your location and time. AdumOnline.com is an audio, photos, and video focused website. We break the news as and when it happens. AdumOnline.com is on web and app, making it easy to visit via phone, tablet, and desktop. AdumOnline.com, Ghana's most comprehensive news portal.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, two lovers who allegedly connived in an assassination plot at Paming in the eastern region have been remanded in police custody for the second time by the Asokwa District Court in Kumasi. Patrick Asari and Mavis Breport were reportedly scheming to have Mavis's husband killed, but they were arrested after a supposed assassin they were negotiating with turned out to be police. They'll make their second appearance on the 3rd of next month. Nana Sensumenta has more.
Counsel for Mavis, Mokhtar Muhaideen, prayed the court to grant her bail, citing she's a nursing mother, but the request was turned down. The mother of 4 is accused of conspiring with 50-year-old Patrick Asari to kill her husband, David Gato. In a bid to contract a killer, they placed the telephone call which rather went to Menchia Divisional Police Commander. Counsel for Mavis is discounting a charge of abetment of crime and is considering going to the higher court to seek redress.
Indeed, it is strict law that in terms of, or when it comes to bail application, every court and all courts has a jurisdiction to grant bail. Every court.
So why do you think the court couldn't listen to your plea?
It's the same question I keep asking myself. Why? Which is the reason why I would hopefully repeat my application before the higher court.
Before the higher court?
Yeah, before the higher court, the appellate court.
You describe the charge sheet as laughable. Why?
I will leave that one for the court issues. Such matters are court matters. I'd rather not discuss them already.
And please, can you tell us what the charge is?
I have not been given a copy of the charge sheet, as you are aware. From the point of arrest of the second accused person till now, prosecutions have thought it not necessary to even give the accused person or myself a copy of this charge sheet. So as I speak with you, I do not have the benefit of saying. And as you also even heard the prosecution in court, they are still saying that the charge sheet on which they have premised and secured the remand and the continuous remand of these accused persons, they said in court that they will still vary same. So what is even the basis for the remand in the first place? But these are matters that once you are not okay with, there's room for you to further go up to the higher authorities, i.e. the court, to seek proper redress, which we shall do. Thank you.
Will you consider that as against the right for not being given the charge sheet?
Certainly, yes, indeed. The court itself even showed its displeasure in not giving the accused persons their charge. It's a right that all of us need to guard jealously against, including all of us, including you guys, the media guys. Tomorrow it could be you or myself on the other side. Let us always strictly uphold the law. It doesn't matter where it falls. It doesn't matter what you think. Let us respect the law. The same law that gives you the authority and the audacity to remand and to arrest, that same law requires you to carry out an obligation which is also in holding up to the rights of the accused person. We shouldn't think that once you're an accused person, then you have been condemned. No, you still have rights.
So when do you expect the appeal, sir?
Oh, soon.
Mr. Gator is appealing for clemency for his wife, insisting she had been spiritually influenced by Asari to engage in the plot. He told Love News he is disappointed the court refused to grant his wife bail.
And when they were young from so no, this had been sent to me. They said, 14 years in it. So, we could abandon me, could Bukrana, maybe I want to teach Fushamano, and then I want to take the Nishamano. And to me, I said, me who from so why are their first wine? Ama, when we say, I deal with why first wine. Fine, what you can't threaten me first wine. Second one, and I'm who say, I didn't hear. Oh, 3 months over here. I think I'm coming to Moha and then to Motina. One coming to Alberry.
And then no person, Umia Bema, you know, sir. I didn't turn up as one now, Yabimano.
What's that intermission?
One another person, Yabimano. And
some minute tangola. Some minute tangola.
And where you disappointed when Yabiyama? Huh? Where disappointed when to Yabiyama?
Oh, sir, it's not Lord.
Nana Assassination reporting.
Now, the coronavirus pandemic has wreaked havoc on many social and traditional practices. This is due to the restrictions placed on social gatherings in major parts of the world, including Ghana. As the ban on social gatherings like funerals still remains in force, Joy News' Beryl Ernestina Richter looks at the trend of funerals among the Ghana people.
Family and friends mourn the loss of their loved one, Rosamond Makudowona. They wail and burst into dirges as the remains of their loved one lies in state at the Cornelius Adumwa Dowona Way in Osu. Some visibly shaken family members and friends are unable to hold back their tears as they file past the body of the deceased. There are no comforting hugs or handshakes. As the people mourn, they are also mindful of contracting the virus. An elder of the family, Jonathan Note Dowona, explains they decided to strictly abide by the restrictions on social gathering, even during the planning of the burial and funeral of their deceased relative.
It was decided at the pre-burial meeting on 28 April to abide by the President's directive. We only allowed them to briefly extend their condolences to the family.
One of the main features, according to Ga customs and traditions, that precedes the bathing of the corpse is Kochagbamo. This rite is very significant among the Ga people. Before the outbreak of coronavirus in Ghana, this ceremony was characterized by elaborate fanfare and extravagance. Here is Nomo Blafo III, Ga Blafo Wulomo of Asre.
currently is done in a way as if people are going to marriage or something. But during this period, you will find about 2 or 3 people just carrying this thing to where they're supposed to take it, or to the house where the Kojagbamo will be performed. Before, the few people who just go and bat the corpse, they will only go to the mortuary.
Dennis Ni Ajay is one of the sons of the deceased. He strongly believes his late mother would be happy with the family's decision to organize a small gathering.
I know and believe that she will be very happy.
The Dowona family is not the only one to have taken the decision to bury their departed loved one in this COVID restrictions era.
That's live on Joy News today with me, Daniel Dazi. Up next is Business with Daryl Crow.
This May is going to be amazing on GoTV with fantastic shows to get you feeling all warm inside. Could something awesome happen when you mix comedy with dance? Maybe. And you may have seen something in the water. Better ask a lifeguard to check it out. Some playful curiosity on GoTV Max and GoTV Plus may save the day after all. GoTV has shows that'll keep you excited. We are amazing entertainment. GoTV, live it, love it.
Never leave it.
Everywhere in the world, the media is getting saturated with lots of hoax news stories, false claims, exaggerated headlines. Simply, fake news is spreading fast.
In this pandemic, fake news is a new infodemic. But fearless journalists at Joy News are on the front line fighting fake news with a series of fact-checked, compelling news reports. The Joy News Combat Fake News Project, clearing the blurry lines between fake news and the news.
Good afternoon, welcome to Business. My name is Daryl Kwao. Government has described as unfortunate Ghana's addition to the list of money laundering and terrorist financing countries. It says it has already, in partnership with several international bodies, taken steps to improve the environment against money laundering. George Rafe has more.
The European Union earlier this month put Ghana on the list of countries with deficiencies in anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing framework. This is due to claims by the European Union that the country has strategic deficiencies in anti-money laundering and financing of terrorism. But the Ministry of Finance in a statement noted that it is surprised at the European Union because Ghana over the years had demonstrated strong commitment to strengthen its anti-money laundering and counter-financing terrorism. It argues that this move is coming at a time that the Financial Action Task Force and other relevant international agencies have always acknowledged Ghana's efforts in enhancing its anti-money laundering regime in various platforms that the European Union itself was represented. The Finance Ministry had argued that it is unfortunate that the European Union took this action without any proper engagement with government concerning any shortcomings that needed to be addressed. On the contrary, when Ghana's progress report was being discussed at a recent international meeting in Paris, no adverse comment came from the European Commission. The Ministry of Finance is therefore surprised at the European Commission to mention Ghana as one of the countries that have failed to put in place structures to protect itself from anti-money laundering and terrorism financing.
Now, government statistician Professor Samuel Kobnainim has advised potential job seekers to disregard rumors of job offerings through social media. According to him, some unscrupulous people are using the name of the Statistical Service to take money from job seekers in the name of getting them recruited for the national census. Professor Nim warns the culprits to desist from the practice or face the law when caught.
It's come to the notice of Ghana Statistical Service that some fraudsters are demanding monies from unsuspecting applicants who would want to work with Ghana Statistical Service in different capacities to ensure that we cover the whole country and cover it well in terms of quality data. And some information is on the social media that we have engaged some individuals using mobile money accounts to collect money from prospective, unsuspecting applicants, indicating that they can offer them a job on the census or give them a place of their choice. We want to put on record that Ghana Statistical Service, first of all, has not engaged any individual or agency to collect money from any person in the hope that that person would get a job or that person would place in a district of his or her choice. Ghana Statistical Service does not operate a mobile money account. Ghana Statistical Service is a government institution, and for all those that we engage to offer services for us, we do not take money from them in this regard. What we do is to assess your CVs to identify whether you are better suited to be a supervisor, to be an enumerator, or to help us at the headquarters in terms of consultancy services to ensure that we conduct a smooth and successful 2020 population and housing census. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now, more corporate institutions are taking steps to support and resource the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. The latest is telecoms giant MTN, which has presented items worth 42,000 cedis to the Medical Research Center, whose services are critical in the fight against COVID-19. There's more in this report.
Presenting the items, Corporate Services Executive of MTN Ghana, Samuel Cranton, said the donation followed a request from the Institute to help support its administrative work for effective and efficient data management.
MTN has been supporting the health sector since the inception of this pandemic. We have supported through zero-rating health sites. We have supported through zero-rating various educational sites, and we continue to support. So when the request came from Noguchi, it wasn't something that was very difficult for us to do.
For his part, the director of the Institute, Professor Abraham Kwabna Anang, thanked MTN Foundation for their timely intervention. He assured Noguchi is in a better position to deliver on their mandate.
Now it means that we are even in a better position to deliver the testing results, which is one of the most important components of it.
Since the outbreak of the pandemic, MTN Foundation has presented 5 million cedis to support the government's efforts in the fight against COVID-19.
And there's more coming up on the marketplace at the top of the hour. Stay tuned. Sports is up next.
Climate change is a major threat to yam production systems. Yam farmers in Ghana have used the yam miniset to plant yam for many years. But a new technology which allows farmers to rapidly produce seed yam can save the situation.
With this technology, with one plant growing, I can produce 300 seedlings from just one plant.
Here's the story of the yam seed production company, Hikma, on Climate Focus.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the sports segment with me, Oriku Wampofo. Ghana FA President Keto Kraku says the former Black Stars coach Kwesi Appiah going public on his unpaid salaries and bonuses was unfortunate. Now, Coach Appiah, who left the job last December, has been in the news for some time now, demanding his money, which amounts to $185,000. Keto Kraku, speaking on the issue for the first time, says that he didn't expect Coach Appiah to bring the matter out. He spoke to Ghana Web.
It's most unfortunate, honestly speaking. I would not want the FA
and for that matter, the government to come into the public space in that manner. Indeed, we initiated the processes, and everybody know, including Kwesi Appiah, know the processes that are involved. He knows, and we all know, that the FA engaged him, but the FA doesn't pay his salaries. Okay, the Ministry of Youth and Sports are responsible for payment of salaries of our national team coaches, and they do it via the sponsorship from GNPC. So it's a bit of like a triangle, so to say. So. There are processes that one has to go through. At times it does end quickly, at times it does delay. It's unfortunate that he went public, but it is his singular prerogative.
Still on DFA President Koto Kreku, and he spoke about Appiah's successor, and for him, CK Akuno is the best choice for the position considering the steady progression of his career.
Has paid his dues when it comes to football. Played here in the Premier League, United, Ashanti Gold, went to Germany, played 12 odd years thereabout in the Bundesliga, captained Wolfsburg at that level, captained our own national team, came back here, coached 11 Wise, Hearts of Oak, Dreams FC, Ashanti Gold, Ashanti Kotoko. He's had varied levels of experience as a trainer. Okay, and if there's somebody who deserves that opportunity, it's somebody who has dedicated himself towards the national cause. He's risen to be the captain. He's played at the highest level. He's represented Ghana at the highest level. I mean, we have no doubt about most importantly, who did he choose as his deputy?
Yeah.
He chose David Duncan.
To some international news, where former Chelsea and Spurs boss Andre Villas-Boas has turned down the Newcastle United job as their big money takeover nears completion. Here's a report by Sari Bediako.
There have already been suggestions that the £300 million takeover could see Mauricio Pochettino targeted for the job, but it is now being reported that one candidate has turned them down, and there have been suggestions that he would either have to extend his deal, which he is not willing to do, or leave in the summer. That meant Newcastle were eyeing him as a potential replacement for Steve Bruce. But French outlet RMC are now reporting that he has turned down the opportunity after meetings over the last month. The former Chelsea and Tottenham manager has also been swayed by the level of support he has received from fans of the club.
We do have some more sports stories for you at 2 p.m. when Sports Today comes live on the Joy News channel. But till then, remember to stay safe.
Celebrating 25 years of joy. To our audience, the chiefs and people of Ghana, we say Baraka.
And world news, aviation officials from Pakistan say a Pakistan International Airlines plane has crashed in Karachi on a flight from Lahore. Flight PK8303, which was carrying around 91 passengers and 8 crew, was flying from Lahore to Jinnah International Airport, one of Pakistan's busiest airports. Pictures show a scene of devastation in the model colony residential area. Emergency services have arrived. There's no confirmation on casualties so far, but many are feared dead. The plane, an Airbus A320, was about to land when it crashed near Model Colony, a neighborhood of Karachi about 3.2 kilometers northeast of Jinnah International Airport. Now, Zimbabwe's Justice Minister has threatened to prosecute 3 female opposition members who allege they were arrested and then abducted from police custody and sexually assaulted. They say they were beaten and forced to drink each other's urine. The 3, including an MP, are being treated in hospital for their injuries. Justice Minister Ziyambi said the women made up the story to divert attention from the fact that they broke lockdown rules by attending a protest. They should be arrested for violating rules aimed at stopping the spread of coronavirus. according to Mr. Ziambi. You're live on Joy News today with me, Daniel Dazi. That's it for World News. Up next is Showbiz.
We know you've been badly affected by this virus, yet you defy the fear of the unknown to fight this virus on our behalf. For this, we say thank you very much.
The nurses and doctors who go on to sacrifice each day, we just can't thank you enough.
We feel safe because we know you are there. Thank you all, our frontline health workers.
To every pharmacist, every doctor, every nurse, and those of you who work at the hospital or isolation centers, we love you. Don't give up.
To all frontline health workers, the fate of humanity depends on you. We thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, welcome to Showbiz here on Joy News today. This afternoon we are up close with acclaimed dancehall act Shatta Wale, who is bent on making a change in the music industry. Despite criticism from industry players, his music, he says, has inspired many of the youth. Today we shine the spotlight on this exciting dancehall musician.
I believe one of my great-grandfathers was a white guy. So like me, like this, if I call me Kingsley Phillips. Phillips, yeah, but because of situation in the economy, so Charles Niyama Mensah, very local.
He used to be this. But now the 35-year-old has seen what some say is a rebirth.
That's why everybody like my thing, like my thing, like my thing.
Since Shatta bounced back, he hasn't looked back. His fan and his Shatta movement are insanely supportive of their king, and he in turn loves them too.
I found out that most of the times we give pressure to the fans, and you know, I don't really want to pressure my fans. I always want to keep them in the known, you know.
The artist has been accused in the past of what some say are needless spats with fellow industry people, including artists. He and another dancehall artist, Stoneboy, were the center of all the controversies during the 2019 VGMA when the two squared up on stage. Both have since smoked the peace pipe, even though they remain in court over charges of disturbing public peace, among others. Shatta Wale's followership is crazy, and he loves to be the talking point too. Fans won't care much about his personal life, his family life, or his stunts. They simply are in for the music. Whether once a day releases or carefully produced collaborations like with Kwame Yuji, Samini, or even the biggest with Beyonce Novels, we are all up and here for the music.
I believe there is something on me that God has put that I don't even see it, that people are seeing, and that is a crown.
Okay. But how did he fall out with rapper Sarkodie? The two appeared to be good friends.
You know, it's either I know you, I don't know you, but I know him. That is why I have to do it. If he was like not a close friend that I don't talk to, because I will have to call you tomorrow, we have to have conversations. So if you, Becky, if I know you today and you said something on radio and I talk to you and you keep doing it, then I might have to air it out so we can move from that. That was the main idea. It has nothing to do with personal stuff. Yes.
The dancehall king will be incensed by this, and probably that is how the two fell out.
I want to talk about this, but
Sarkodie has done something, and that is the storm that is coming. Any artist that tries Shatta Wale is going to go down.
I thought this is supposed to be a media thing, something that you guys do for fun.
Yeah, it's media, but you're putting evidence and jealousy into the game.
If there's anything we know about Shatta Wale, it is the fact that he is passionate about what he does, even if it is away from music. Pa, 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 pa.
On that note, we end Showbiz here on Joy News today. Good afternoon.
Hi, how you doing, Becky?
Pom, 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 pom.
That's it for this bulletin of Joy News today. Becky for the Showbiz. My name is Daniel Daze. Daryl is back with the marketplace after this, the last edition for the week. That's it from us. Enjoy the weekend. We'll be back on Monday.
News Today was brought to you by
Number 10 liver salt from Ernest Chemists, because everyone needs a chemist.